Do you know what? It's a really frustrating situation I seem to find myself in all the time. You know, with Marvel, when you're making those films, it's all about the villain, the costume, the locations, the end result. And they're relatively easy to keep those things a secret. I know that sounds stupid coming from me because I spoil everything. But with The Crowded Room, there are so many twists and turns in this show that people won't be expecting. It really is a puzzle, and we are giving the audiences all the pieces they need to put it together. We just might be giving it to them in a little bit of a funny order. So it's really difficult to talk about this show without giving it away. I'm incredibly proud of it. I'm super passionate about it. So I want to be telling everyone everything, so I appreciate you not trying to trip me up. Danny is an exhausting character, and going to those places on a daily basis, having that haircut, shooting on the streets of New York, it was tough. It was not an easy show to make, and about 50% of the way through, I was counting down the days that I could take this year off and have some time to myself. So it was a really, really tough experience. Without a shadow of a doubt, the hardest job I've ever had. But equally, probably the most rewarding. Sitting down and seeing the edit and seeing how Akiva and the editors kind of manipulated the story to kind of become this new version of what we'd made was so rewarding. So I'm happy that I dug my heels in and stuck with it. I learned a lot about myself. I learned about my capabilities as an actor. I learned about things that I can put up with. I feel like I'm much more capable at dealing with adversities and fighting against things that are going wrong on set. You know, I learned a lot about mental health. I learned a lot about the power of the human mind and the amazing things we can do to protect ourselves, to heal, to survive. I learned about New York in the 70s. I think one of my favorite things about my job is I've been working since I was 11. My education is somewhat non-existent. So my education in life is my work, and I get to sit down with experts like Akiva and psychologists and actors that I really admire and learn from them. So for me, The Crowded Room was a wonderful education. I try to keep everything on set very light, and I try to keep all of my emotions very sort of surface level. I don't dive into my personal experiences. I don't sit down and think about something terrible happening in my personal life. I do the research, I do the preparation, I develop the character, and I feel the emotions through the scene that we're shooting. You know, if I need to cry and I'm not crying, it's probably because we're missing a beat in the scene. And then we'll sit down, we'll discuss, we'll figure out why I'm not quite getting to the emotion. And sometimes we do, and sometimes we abandon it, you know. So I try and keep my emotions very, very professional rather than personal. We did over 100 pages of dialogue at that one table in that one room, and I'm delighted to say that I really couldn't have asked for a better scene partner. You know, Amanda is so talented, she's so professional, she's able to keep it light when it's dark, and you know, there were certain times in that room where we were both just losing our minds, just scenes after scenes after scenes after scenes, and we just kind of were a great team. I think those sections of the show we were really worried would seem somewhat like a speed bump to the kind of flashbacks of the show, but I think they're just as compelling as Danny's kind of storytelling. So for me, I'm really proud of what we achieved in that room, and I'm delighted I got to do it with Amanda.